Joy, we ask every new guest 5 questions. So the first question is, how did you learn to sew?
Sure. Well, I think like a lot of sewers, we start when we're young, and that was true to how I began when I was really young. I started hand sewing, so like a lot, I was probably around 5 or 6, and I'd spend a lot of time at my grandparents' house. So that was really, I talk about that a lot. I really look back at that time and really embrace that because my grandma was really good at just cultivating, and I played with a lot of her notions and her sewing things up in the attic in the farmhouse. And so then by the time I was in 4-H in 6th grade, I took my first official lesson, with one of the 4-H moms, and we sewed a jacket. And that was back when you sewed and you ripped and you sewed and you ripped and you cried until you got your project done. And I remember spending weeks just putting a zipper in. It was the Scotch tape method, where you'd put the zipper down and you'd Scotch tape it in, and all of that. And but it really clicked for me. And so I think everyone has some sort of talent that they're really good at. And I just found mine very early. So by the time I started high school, I ended up getting my first job working for a tailor. And so I did that as an apprentice all through high school and then studied design in college. So, yeah.
What are you currently sewing?
Well, all kinds of things, of course. But personally, and I know people ask a lot, oh, do you sew for yourself a lot? And I do. I've always kind of come at sewing more, like I really more enjoy sewing and designing for other people. And because I started early and that's really how I started my business, that's, and even working in a tailor shop, it really was, sewing as a business and working with people. But for myself, I still, certainly sew for myself. But one thing that I'm having fun with right now, and I'm just at the beginning of it, is doing an actual authentic kilt for my husband. So I'm in the researching all the things, and we've got the company over in Scotland that does the actual tartans. And so I have those picked out, but it's one of those, I want to make sure everything's perfect before I cut the fabric. So that's kind of my personal project. And as far as, work, a lot of my projects are sewing things either for my books or for classes that I'm teaching, custom clients. So yeah, just a good variety.
Okay. If you need the knitted socks to go with that kilt, I can
Yeah.
do that for you.
Okay, I probably need that. Yeah, we haven't got that far yet. I do have the leather to make like the little leather pouch, and I can't think of what that's called. But yeah, so I'm
I
gonna
can't
do some.
either, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't knit, so we probably will need that.
Okay, which sewing term or word is your favorite?
Okay, so I love this question, and I've had to think about this for a while because it's like, well, what would be your favorite word? And I don't know if this is my favorite, but I'm going to spell it, and then I want you guys to say it, and I want to hear how you say it, okay? And then I'll tell you a little story. So, all right, Measure.
Measure.
Measure. Okay.
Okay.
So, I laugh at that because forever I would say measure, and I always joke and say I don't have an accent, but apparently I say it measure like a hillbilly or so. I don't know. But I play instruments and things like that, and so you have like a measure of music, or maybe it's just how I say it. I don't know. My dad says it the same way, so I didn't even know I didn't say it right, and so in one of my craftsy classes several years ago, a student had and it was really funny, like we ended up conversing back and forth about this, and I printed off the whole dialogue and I read it to students sometimes because what happened was she responded and said, where's your accent, where are you from, because you say, and then she spelled it out, MAY-ZUR, and I didn't know what she meant. I'm like, I had no idea until I finally, measure. And so I just responded and I said, yeah, I envision that you're sitting around your house and you call all your family and, hey, come and listen to Measure. And she said that's exactly what they did. And I'm the first one to laugh at myself. And so I started, surveying people. Do you say measure or do you say measure? And so I've done that just enough now that now I say measure. And I'm kind of sad because I don't say it my original way anymore. But yeah.
Joy, which fabric do you enjoy sewing the most?
Oh, golly. I think it depends on what I'm doing. I actually really love silk taffeta. It doesn't work for every project, but I love how like it has this texture. And so when you can pleat it and or you can use it on the bias and it's not it doesn't just hang limp, but you can do a lot. You can do like poofy things and stuff it and it just really there's a lot of hand and drape to it that you can create different things. So I love that. Of course, again, it's not, for every garment, but that definitely is one of my favorites. And I've been on this kick for quite a while now doing 4-ply silk crepe blouses, which I really, really like too. So, yeah.
Nice. And could you please share what you love most about sewing?
Oh, wow. I think it's kind of like music. We're on a theme now, but I think music. You think of your favorite song, and there's so many people that sing different songs, and you may not like one, but you like another. And I think sewing is very much like that. You can really make it your own, and we all kind of interpret patterns and fabrics differently. So it really is very, very customizable, and you have the freedom to really, learn a technique and really make it your own. And there's sometimes not necessarily one way to do things, and I like that too because I do think people learn differently or maybe interpret things differently as well. So, yeah.
Oh, well, thanks, Joy. Thanks for answering the 5 questions, and we're looking forward to talking to you.